I have given a name to my pain.
What are you? I'm Batman.
While Marvel has dominated the box office and made a clear winner out of the DC Marvel fan debate, DC is still rolling out quite the slate of upcoming films. Let's break it down with 10 future DC movies that will blow you away. Number 10, Wonder Woman 1984.
What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars.
While Marvel's Avengers series has stolen most of the fans' attention away from DC, there was a major turning point. The release of Wonder Woman in 2017 marked the birth of a new major DC franchise. Wildly positive fan and critic reviews alike have created quite the anticipation for the sequel. Patty Jenkins will return to helm Wonder Woman as director, along with Geoff Johns and David Callahan as the screenwriters. The story fast-forwards in time to take place during 1984. Kristen Wiig plays the main antagonist, Cheetah, and Chris Pine will return as Steve Trevor. While most of the film's plot is under wraps, Jenkins did spill about some of the details. The focus of 1984 will be on bringing Wonder Woman into the modern world, as Jenkins aims to use this excess of the 80s to tie the story thematically to the world we live in today and how Wonder Woman might fit in there. Number 9, The Batman.
It's kind of crazy shoes to fill. I mean, it's interesting what the different directions you can take with it, and that kind of fit in some ways quite a specific character.
The Batman franchise is another mega DC storyline that has grabbed fans' attention. This sequel to the long franchise has gone through a number of issues, but seems like it may be hitting our screens soon. In July 2015, it appeared that Ben Affleck would return as Batman again, as well as director, with Affleck writing the script with Geoff Johns. Unfortunately, he stepped away from the director position and opted to simply star in the feature. Warner Bros. Is now having Matt Reeves direct the feature instead. Through 2019, it started to become clear that Affleck would step away from the movie entirely, which has subsequently become the case. Reeves' film will introduce a younger Batman and will take on a noir-like appearance and tone. Reeves hopes to capture the detective aspect of the character that we don't often get to see. Robert Pattinson will be donning the cape and cowl, beating out other contenders like Armie Hammer, Nicholas Hoult, and Aaron Tyler Johnson. Rounding out the ensemble is Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Colin Farrell as Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler, Andy Serkis as Alfred, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, and Peter Sarsgaard as a mystery character who may or may not be Two-Face. Number 8, The Suicide Squad.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet.
They're bad guys. Worst of the worst.
Warner Bros. Has looked through a number of interesting options for directors of this upcoming blockbuster, including Mel Gibson, but moved on and hoped to offer the film to Jaume Collet-Serra of The Shallows and Non-Stop fame, only to see him pass. Gavin O'Connor, from The Accountant, was subsequently set to direct, but while this film seemed primed to start shooting in the fall of 2018, O'Connor's take was apparently too similar to the Birds of Prey movie, which was poised to start shooting first, and he left the project entirely. Then, Warner Bros. Hired infamous James Gunn to write the script and possibly direct. And a few months later, it was revealed that Gunn would indeed be directing this film, which is now titled The Suicide Squad. While most of the plot is under wraps, it has been described as a cross between a reboot and a sequel, including some returning characters from Ayer's film, plus new additions. Will Smith will not be returning, but Warner Bros. Brought back Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn alongside Jai Courtney, Viola Davis, and Joel Kinnaman. Idris Elba is set to play a new character after initially being eyed to replace Smith as Deadshot. David Dastmalchian is playing Polka Dot Man, and Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher. Number 7, Black Adam movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for.
This little-known DC villain goes way back to the comic company's early days with its Shazam hero. The idea for the project came to Warner Bros. A few years ago with Dwayne Johnson set to play Shazam's villain, Black Adam. While Johnson would star in Shazam, it soon became clear that the studio would make a separate movie for each character. Johnson will lead the latter, while Shazam moved forward on its own and became a huge success. While this film has been in development for years, it seems clear that things are starting to move. Due date writer Adam Steichel is set to pen the screenplay. Jaume Collet-Serra will be brought in to direct. Serra and Johnson also worked together on Disney's upcoming Jungle Cruise movie. Filming has already commenced with Oscar-nominated Joker cinematographer Lawrence Sher serving as the DP. Number 6, The Flash.
Yeah, and it's not like a competition, you know? Well, It is a competition, but, you know, it's not like a macho measuring thing.
But if I win, you're off the team.
While the Flash television series has become a massively popular success, the film adaptation has had quite a few hiccups. Its development road goes all the way back to 2015. At the time, Phil Lord and Chris Miller were hired to write a story treatment with the hope that they would direct, but the duo departed to take the helm of Solo, a Star Wars story, instead. Ezra Miller remained attached to star, having been cast as the Flash for Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And in October 2015, Dark Shadow screenwriter Seth Grahame-Smith was hired to write the script and direct. Grahame-Smith was taken off the project in 2016, with studio Warner Bros. Hoping to take the film in a new direction. Rick Famuyiwa was then brought on to direct the project, and while he casted some of the other roles, he ended up leaving the project over creative differences. Famuyiwa's departure pushed filming, planned to start back in 2017, back. They decided to hold off while Miller was sent to shoot Fantastic Beasts 2. Writer Joby Harold came in to do a page 1 rewrite on the script, and in 2017, Robert Zemeckis and Matthew Vaughn surfaces as WB's top choices to direct. The studio also revealed that the film would be called Flashpoint, pointing to a famous point in the comic story arc where Barry goes back to the past to save his mother's life. While Zemeckis and Vaughn didn't work out, they did land on the directors of Spider-Man: Homecoming to co-write, John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein to take over directing in early 2018, based in part on their strength of the Warner Bros. Action comedy Game Night. But production has been pushed once again, as Ezra Miller was originally due to shoot Fantastic Beasts 3 in fall-winter of 2019. Filming on the Flash movie couldn't begin before that. There was a mix of other tensions between all the artists until July 2019. Daley and Goldstein voluntarily left the project, while It and Mama filmmaker Andy Muschietti entered into negotiations to take things over. The project's fourth filmmaker in 4 years. Not only that, but Warner Bros. Didn't like Miller's script after all, and is tossing it, albeit while keeping Miller attached as the lead character. Instead, Christina Hodson, Birds of Prey, is now writing a new draft for the screenplay, with an eye towards beginning production in 2020. Which of course means that The Flash now once again runs the risk of running into scheduling conflicts with a Fantastic Beasts movie, as the second sequel is expected to begin filming in spring 2020. The saga continues. Number 5. Aquaman 2.
Do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all.
That was the worst pep talk ever.
When the initial Aquaman came to theaters in December 2018, many were surprised by its sheer success, becoming the highest grossing film of the DC Universe so far and topping out at $1.1 billion in revenue. Warner Bros. Studio immediately began developing the sequel. However, director James Wan made sure the studio was clear that he wouldn't move forward until the script was right. WB has set up a new release date all the way in 2022, which should give the film enough time to develop. Wan's frequent collaborator, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, has been tasked with writing the screenplay. While Wan hasn't exactly committed to directing the sequel, he will be a top priority for Warner Bros. To secure, considering the popularity of the film. Number 4. Batgirl.
Suit me up, Uncle Alfred.
Warner Bros. Ended up diving into the Marvel talent pool to secure Joss Whedon to helm the film Batgirl back in 2017. Whedon has made it clear he favors an unknown actress to play the lead, but his work on casting has been pushed back since being pulled back into Marvel to work on Justice League. All seemed well until early 2018 when Whedon announced he was leaving the film entirely, commenting that it, quote, took me a year to realize I didn't have a story. Seems like the studio will now probably turn into bringing on a female filmmaker to direct the film. In the meantime, they've hired Christina Hodson to write the script. Number 3. Green Lantern Corps.
Sorry, I gotta run. Make yourself at home, okay? There's water in the tap.
This much-anticipated reboot to the Warner Bros. Franchise most likely won't include Ryan Reynolds coming back to reprise his role since he's busy on Deadpool and other projects. However, the title of the project does indicate this will probably be a team-up of 2 former Green Lanterns, including Tyrese Gibson, who has been openly campaigning for one of the roles. While development has been going on for some time, Warner Bros. Has pushed things ahead by bringing David S. Goyer to co-write the script with Justin Rhodes. However, when it was announced in 2018 that Jeff Johns was vacating his role as head of DC Films, it became clear that he wouldn't be taking over the Green Lantern Corps screenplay full-time. Number 2. New Gods.
such a selfish species, the lengths you'll go to protect that which you love are extraordinary.
Filmmaker Ava DuVernay has made a big splash in blockbusters by writing and directing her history-making blockbuster, A Wrinkle in Time. So it's no surprise that Warner Bros. Wanted to give her their new movie, New Gods. Based on the old comic books by Jack Kirby, the story takes place after the old gods were destroyed by Ragnarok. It's pretty weird and involves a lot of strange and funny stuff, including the villainous Darkseid. As of now, no one can really tell what angle DuVernay is going to take when approaching this film, and right now, she's very busy making the Netflix limited series When They See Us. It's clear as of now that Tom Crean is now co-writing the film with DuVernay. Number 1. Black Hawk.
Andre's from France, Hendriksen's from Holland, Olaf comes from Norway, and I'm Black Hawk.
Steven Spielberg is expected to make his big superhero movie debut with the resurrection of this very old DC comic book character. After working with Warner Bros. To make Ready Player One, he was brought on to resurrect this World War II superhero. The story revolves around a group of ace pilots during the war. It's clear that this will be more of a comic book movie than a superhero movie, but it is certain that Spielberg will produce and potentially direct. That possibility is less than likely, as Spielberg has his fingers on many projects at all times. But maybe if the right script comes along, he could pull the trigger and get the story going. And that's all we have for now. We hope you enjoyed. This has been our list of 10 future DC movies that will blow you away. Be sure to like and subscribe, and look out for any of our new content.